Many thanks for joining us. My name is Daniel Daze once again. Now let's begin today's bulletin by continuing with the conversation we'll be having all week on the fight against Galamsey. Today we'll be looking at the legality of the steps government has taken and the possible impacts both on the operators and government as well. Now, it's been 4 months since government has asked all small-scale miners to cease activities, regardless of where they're operating. Small-scale miners, especially across the country, have been feeling its bite. What remedies are they considering to save their businesses and also deliver on their engagements with their clients? Let's hear it from the miners themselves, and we've been joined on the line by the Director of Operations for Small Scale Miners Association, Emmanuel Entry. He is here with us on Skype. Good morning, Mr. Entry, and thanks for joining us. Right, so how has business been in the past few months?
Well, business has been very bad. As you know, since the minister declared the ban on all activities of small-scale mining in Ghana, our members have not been to work, despite the fact that we continually incur debts on non-mining and producing activities at the site. These activities include security of our properties and then also the maintenance of the mine pit and the rest. And so business has been very bad. As at last week, the compensation that we had with the amount of money that we are losing as a result of this non-mining and producing cost for our business was around 309,120,000 Ghana cedis. And I'll give you the breakdown as we go along.
Right. So what has been your level of engagement with government since this particular ban began?
Well, so far we have met the sector minister, and then we've had a couple of discussions with the Minister for Environment as well. And then we've met the members of Council of State. We are trying to let them know that the licensed small-scale miners are duly licensed by law as per the 2006 Act, Minerals and Mining Act 703, and then other related acts, EPA Act 1994, Act 490, and then the Local Government Act 1993, Act 462. You see, we and the large-scale companies are regulated under this very act that I've mentioned to you. So we think that it's a bit unfair that the licensed small-scale miners have been lumped together with the illegal operators, which we have been fighting since 2014, when we inaugurated our very first task force at UMAT. By that time, I think the Honorable Minister Fuseni was the sector minister, and he actually inaugurated our very first task force to deal with illegal mining. And so it's rather unfortunate that this is happening to us, and we are losing money. We are losing money.
Now the argument, Mr. Entry, sorry to butt in there, but the argument that has been made is that looking at the cost of illegal mining to the nation, these are some sacrifices that we'll have to make, at least for the next 6 months. We're already, I think, about 3-4 months into the ban, no?
We are about 4 months. Yes. You see, you said that the cost of illegal mining, of which we have started fighting, and even so far, our task force are all over the place, chasing the dredges here and there. We have destroyed over 3,000 dredges, and then spent around 400,000 Ghana cedis to sponsor for this task force activities. And so it is really pathetic and very unfair on our part to suffer this. But hey, like you said, we are patriots before businessmen. And so if that is the price we have to pay for Mother Ghana to be able to sanitize this industry, of which we are also very much concerned. We want to sanitize the industry, but then the fault is not coming from licensed small-scale miners, even though we have been targeted unfairly and wrongly.
But then it's also argued that it's become so jumbled up because it's difficult to separate the legal small-scale miners from the illegal ones, and that is how come we'd have to place a moratorium on the entire activity so that we can have that clarity in the sector.
Well, if you are in this sector and you understand it very well, you realize that it is not difficult at all. Because you see, the 9 mining district officers, they were directly responsible for the licensed small-scale miners, and they know every boundary of every small-scale miner. They come there often, sometimes twice, thrice in a month, to ensure that whatever we do it properly. The EPA also come, and then sometimes the Inspectorate Division of the Minerals Commission, they also come. And so it is not difficult at all to distinguish between the licensed small-scale miners and then the illegal miners. But you know, when this whole fight against Galamsey started, most of the pictures that we see on our screens were pictures taken from illegal operators, and then somehow we were just brought into the whole thing without the necessary checks being done. But then, hey, like I said, we are patriots before businessmen, and we have Madagana at heart. And so if it is that is the price we have to pay for Ghana to know that, yes, we are not the corporates, but they are the corporates that we are even after those corporates doing the illegalities. Yes, we are paid up to this point. All that we are saying that we employ the government to speed up the activities and then the things that they are doing to ensure that we go back to work, because the rate at which we are losing funds and losing our investments is so high. And these figures that I gave out just now does not even include the bank loans and the bank charges. These are figures that we are continually spending now as we are not even producing. And it's really disheartening.
Right, thank you very much, Emmanuel Yenchi, for your time. He's the Director of Operations of the Small Scale Miners Association of Ghana. So let's try and get some more understanding on this issue by speaking with a private legal practitioner, Martin Pebu. Thank you very much for your time, sir. What do you make of this directive by government?
Yes, I think that it calls for a review. There is no way that you can just give a blanket ban on all of the small scale mining activities. No. You see, the reason it calls for a review is that in law, when somebody has a right, you don't take that right away without giving him a hearing. So what this involves is that all the persons who are involved in this activity, that's those with licenses, have to be given a hearing, so that for those whose activities do not lead to the water pollution that is the main target of this campaign, they can be allowed to continue to operate. Because, as I've stated, I've seen places where the water that they use doesn't flow into any river. There are some lakes that have been localized for decades. I have personally seen some. I've lived through that. I told you off air that I lived in Abosu. I've seen localized lakes that have been there for several decades, even before I was born. Okay? So people do the small-scale mining in such lakes. So if such water doesn't flow into any stream or any river, it doesn't appear to me there's any reason to ban such activity. So the piece of what I'm saying is that the minister would have to review the decision. He should set up his technical officers so that those officers will now consider the request of persons whose activities do not pollute those water bodies. That's the small-scale miners whose activities do not pollute the water bodies. Be allowed to continue working, because, Mr. Daisy, this is about people's livelihoods as well. And you see, their numbers are great. This blanket ban is not sustainable. No, it's not sustainable long term.
Now, you were speaking of some solutions that are being, implemented locally. People using water bodies that do not run into rivers and what have you. But shouldn't it rather be an expert who is telling us that, okay, this way that it's being practiced is safe? And of course, we could also use those water bodies for other users, no?
Well, as you say, expert, yes, I don't mind. So, I'm not an expert. So, yes, that's why I said he should set up his technical officers and let the affected persons come one after the other. People can come and prove to you that, that's to the experts, that their activities don't affect water bodies, the ones that serve as drinking water. Because, that one is a fact. you talk to the people, Mr. Dazi, I can give you numbers of, you can go to those communities, you see those people doing the same small-scale mining, and the water doesn't flow into any river. And that's how some communities have survived for decades. So to sit and say that, oh, all small-scale mining is banned outright, yes, the minister can say so, but even legally, that is not right, because in the Minerals and Mining Act, you can't suspend somebody's license without first listening to him. The minister doesn't have such power. It doesn't reside in him. Okay? We all support the activity. We all support the efforts at clamping down on the pollution of our water body. But the small exception I'm making is about those persons whose activities do not affect our water body.
Is that to suggest that government is probably in danger of any legal action filed against them?
Oh, definitely. That one, I have no doubt at all. I have no doubt, because if you read the Minerals and Mining Act, as I told you, even from the way we interpret our laws, even from the Constitution, it's a fundamental principle that you don't take somebody's right away without first giving him a hearing. Okay? But also, to be practical, we are all Ghanaians. We all want safe water bodies, okay? But so to be practical, I can understand why the minister wants to ban everybody outright. But it should come with a caveat that, but those who can show cause that they are not polluting any water body should come forth and show cause. Then they be allowed to continue. Because as I've told you, small-scale mining is not one uniform activity. There are different ways of undertaking small-scale mining. So when you look at the pollution of water bodies and use it as a reason to ban everybody, it will be like throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Okay? That's one I'm sure of. As I told you, yes, I'm not an expert, but I've seen some with my eyes where the water is localized. It's like a lake, and that's where they undertake their small-scaling activities. And this lake-like water bodies are not drinking water sources for the community. And these lakes sort of have been there for decades. They didn't start here, Mr. Dazi. I can bet you that they started more than 40 years. I'm sure of that.
Right.
But I mentioned specifically the town of Aboso. So the experts, if you talk to any expert who knows Aboso, there are parts of Aboso where you would find lakes, sort of, and that's what they use. And I'm sure there are other communities where you find it.
Right. Thank you very much, Lawyer Martin Pebu, for your time this morning. He is a private legal practitioner, giving us his views there on what should be done about the fight against Galamsey on illegal routes. Now.